First the Fat Boys breaker. Now I wake up. Joseph Parker just failed off of the nose candy. The nostrils is burning as Joseph Parker, former heavyweight champion, failed a VADA test and got knocked out by Fabio Wardley. And we got to talk about it right now in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I'm back with some more unfortunate news. Boxing looks extremely bad. This is breaking news. Former heavyweight champion who fought great fighters like Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. Recently, he fought and lost to Fabio Wardley. He fought Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. To this day, he fought Zhang, Joe Joyce. New information comes out the day of the Wardley fight. The man failed a VADA test and popped dirty off of the nose candy. Kane. Bro, boxing is looking far too stupid recently. Fights being canceled. Make sure you follow me at BoxingEgo1. I am the best in the business. I give you the news first. Nobody else is talking about the news, but Boxing Ego talking about the news. Boom. So I made this graphic. You see it. The nose candy. Joseph Parker has officially popped dirty. His first time popping dirty for a drug test. But, I mean, it don't matter. You should never pop dirty for anything. So, former heavyweight champion Joseph Parker failed a drug test before his fight with Fabio Wardley last month. Traces of cocaine were found in his system in a test conducted the day of the fight. In addition to a knockout loss to Fabio Wardley, Joseph Parker now faces a potential ban from boxing and or fines. But before the Wardley fight, Parker, aged 33, was in the running to face Alexander Usyk for undisputed titles in 2026. Now that hope appears to be dashed. Shaking my head. First a loss, then a dirty pop, looking ugly. Boxing looks bad. And I agree with that. And just to give you guys, if you don't believe me for whatever reason, this is Sky Sports UK where the fight happened. Joseph Parker fails a drugs test. Former heavyweight champion tested positive for traces of cocaine on the day of the Fabio Wardley defeat. So everything adds up. They're pretty much saying the same thing. VADA caught him. He had this in his system, and here we are. They contacted his manager and Frank Warren's Queensbury promotion for comment. Parker's 33, lost to Joshua. We already went over. Punishing loss to Joe Joyce. We already know he got knocked out. He was due to challenge Daniel Dubois. Dubois fell ill. So it was just kind of a rundown. It was a gamble that fired, blah, blah, blah. And again, now, I don't do drugs. Let's start there. So the great thing about Boxing Ego is I don't do drugs. I have never tried a drug in my lifetime, right? Because I don't really consider marijuana. And I never smoked like routinely or often, but I have smoked weed before. But again, that's legal. It's not, I don't consider that. But never tried a drug outside of weed and alcohol. And I don't drink. I currently don't drink. I haven't drank for years. Just a personal choice. It was just like, what's the point? I never smoked like routinely. So I'm qualified to definitely say that drugs are bad. And ultimately, this just makes boxing look dumb. You know, and again, I've never dabbled in any type of drug like that. So I don't even understand the allure, to be honest. Like, you've seen people gamble away their life, lose their wife, their family, and custody their kids and stuff, all because of drugs. So I feel like growing up, you know, you have relatives or just different people you know, and I kind of learned from other people's pain. At a young age, I was able to see, like, I got alcoholics in my family or people with diabetes and, just different ailments. So it kind of makes you want to, you have a choice. You can either conform and do what other people have done, or you can learn from other people's mistakes. They made the mistake or they went through it, or you seen, oh, this person got evicted because of that, and you can learn from it and then choose like, hey, I'm staying away from that. Me, I choose the latter. I just seen too much happen with people's lives when they were like addicted to the bottle or pills or whatever, whatever it is. So that's not my life. So I can't vouch for no doing coke. You're a professional fighter. Key word, professional. You're supposed to be a professional, and you out here partying or whatever. And this looks bad. It looks bad. Some people are going to like minimize it. Like, again, for me, I'm not trying to make any exceptions or justifications. Like Keyshawn Davis tested positive for marijuana. That's not a big deal. But come on, cocaine is a stimulant. It can wake you up. It can keep you up, possibly give you like a push. So not necessarily in the same vein of anabolic steroids, but still, you're not supposed to have it in your system. Jose Benavidez had a positive cocaine test recently. Previously, David Benavidez had. These guys know better. Like, you're professional fighters. Like, why would you even enter a fight on anything? You know what I mean? Having recently done that. So you're basically training for Fabio Wardley, right? Customers are paying their money expecting the best of you, somebody who ate the right things, did the road work, did the sparring. And I'm not even trying to sound super preachy, but it's just what it is. People are paying their hard-earned money in this economy to go watch you and thinking, and like, also, I live in California, so we can't bet, like gambling in that way. We don't have a sports book. So it doesn't affect me. But imagine you're like, I like this matchup a lot. And Joseph Parker gave tough fights to Andy Ruiz or Joshua, whatever, and you picked him. And what if he messed up your bet or your parlay or whatever the case is, and you bet on him because at his best, maybe you think he could have beat the young Fabio Wardley, who hadn't really proven everything. He had never really fought someone as good as Joseph Parker, and with as big of a name as Joseph Parker. And then to see that all flushed down the toilet, I'd be mad if I put money on Parker and then come to find out that he popped dirty. I really would, because it'd be like, are you even at your best? Now, this has nothing to do with it, but it does have something to do with it. His trainer is Tyson Fury's cousin, Andy Lee, and he's cool with Tyson Fury in that whole circle. And it just dates back to when I was talking about Glovegate with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and Tyson Fury, and I was like, I don't know, something about Fury just seems unsavory and untrustworthy, and he's popped dirty before and cheated, blah, blah, blah. And you guys told me I was wrong and that Tyson Fury is clean and all this type of stuff. But look at who he keeps around him, bro. Look at who he keeps around. Like I feel like everybody in that like circle got some stuff going on. Now Parker's popping dirty. Like dang near everybody in that circle has like had issues, some type of issues, like crazy arrests or DUIs or popping dirty. Fury himself has popped dirty. So I just want the record to show that Boxing Ego continues to be accurate. Huey Fury, Tyson Fury, they popped dirty. Now his buddy popping. Then there was a time where Parker, he was at the McGregor fight or some UFC fight when he was saying he had the Rona and wasn't supposed to be out because of social distancing. Tyson Fury said he pulled out of the Wilder fight initially, said he had the Ovid, said he had the Rona. Then Fury was out gambling or at the casinos and stuff. So it's too much going on with these people. Point blank, period. Very disappointing to hear about Joseph Parker. It's really inexcusable. I can't understand or fathom. Like, I can understand somebody, a fighter, eating a cheeseburger because the discipline of eating clean maybe is there's too many temptations, but to do a drug while you're in camp for a good fight, it's just weird. That don't even make sense. And then here's another angle is sometimes people do certain other drugs to flood their system or as masking agents. So I don't know cocaine specifically, if it could help flush out things, but anytime somebody tests positive, you got to wonder, like, what was the intent? Was there more to it? And then they just got the metabolites for the cocaine in your system. Did you have other stuff? Like, I don't know. It puts a black cloud over your whole little run, because anybody who's a pro fighter finna put Molly, cocaine, whatever in their system, I really don't trust you. For real. I don't trust that you wouldn't do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're willing to put a poison in your body, then why wouldn't, it's kind of like a gateway drug to other drugs. At least the people I know, like I know people who they started in middle school, they smoking cigarettes, then they started drinking, then they did weed, then they did this, then it kept like adding on. Like some people, it's like becomes a gateway. Then they trying shrooms and this and Molly and ecstasy. Like now you just in the drug, you just a dope fiend or whatever. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm from the Bay Area, bro. So I already know what that town dope do to folk and stuff. So for me, I feel like if you're gonna put whatever in your body, ain't no telling what you'll put in your body. That's pretty much how I look at it. I don't know if that's right or wrong or politically correct, but just disappointing from Joseph Parker. You popping dirty, you 33. Like, how you go from fighting Usyk, fighting Daniel Dubois, because he was a champion at the time. Okay, Dubois pulling out is not your fault. You knocked out Martin Bacoli, right? And then you were in line to fight Usyk. You take the Fabio Wardley fight. Now it's like up in smoke. You might get banned. You might get fined. You're 33. You just lost by knockout. It is looking bad. And this was a turkey card, right? They put it on pay-per-view. So who wants to pay pay-per-view? I'd be mad if I was from the UK, bro. Who wants to pay pay-per-view prices and then come to find out the main event, somebody flagged for something that was banned? Like, that don't give me first of all, the fight shouldn't have never even been on pay-per-view to begin with. No way. It shouldn't have just been a pay-per-view. But then now I don't want to watch no fights with no druggies or people on stuff or whatever. I want to see two people taking their craft serious, they fight, and then get an actual winner. I don't want to see somebody flag with whatever and then try to explain it away. So I don't know if he's going to run the B sample, but we know how it goes. The B sample usually come back pretty much identical to whatever the first one is. So they pretty much got you. I don't think VADA would put their neck on the line if they didn't have an actual flag for it and go through that, because then they could be sued if it was like lab contamination or a mistake or mess up. So just ultimately, boxing has been super dry, fights being canceled left and right, and then now you had a top 10 heavyweight who just had a pay-per-view fight and he popping dirty. I mean, this is horrible. It makes our sport look horrible, especially if you bet on Joseph Parker or if you pay for his fight on pay-per-view. You look crazy. Shout out to Fabio Wardley. At this point of recording the video, he ain't do nothing wrong, and he won by knockout, so he keeps trucking and keeps moving on. Just super disappointing for a guy like Parker. I don't know how you let this happen. You went your whole career without popping dirty. You had a respected resume. Now this just puts kind of a black cloud asterisk over your character. Like, you're a family. I think he has kids and stuff. You're a family man. Why are you doing coke? I don't know, man. People be true. And for me, that's crazy. Like, you were like super close to getting the Usyk fight. But this is Turkey's like Ring magazine and all that, Riyadh season. They doing these matches that no one really even asked for. I didn't ask for no Joseph Parker versus Bacoli. You should have, the moment Dubois pulled out, you should have just accepted that, paid him, or just got in like a Padley like you did with Shakur Stevenson. But now it looked even worse because Parker leaned Bacoli, and now a fight later or so, he popping dirty. So now it's just like Bacoli got rocked in 2 rounds by Parker, who's no longer kind of relevant right now with this test fail. So Turkey pulled and subbed in Martin Bacoli for absolutely no reason. It wasn't a good fight. He got demolished by Parker. And now Parker's seen in the negative light because you put him in with Fabio Wardley and he gets knocked out, and then now he popped dirty. Oh my God, I'm out.